Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another amazing episode. And in today's video, guys, we are here to look at an amazing car. This is a car you would fail to see it in our Kenyan road, and this is a car which was built up for two reasons. One of which is fuel efficiency, and of course, the other thing is durability. So the car that I'm talking about is the Toyota Corolla, the 90 series, and this is a car so many people they are really trying to upgrade it to add some modification, and the reason for that is because it's a car which was built or produced in such a way that you can get to add more aftermarket upgrades. And of course, the car has been on our Kenyan roads, and when it comes to performance, it's a car which never disappoints. So pay attention, guys, because we'll be looking into this car into details, and of course, we'll also be looking into the reason why these cars they have been running for decades, and you'll see them till to date. I'll be taking you through this discussion. My name is Willie, and of course, guys, if you are a person who gets to feel excited whenever you hear about cars, this is the channel for you. And kindly become part of this community by just hitting the subscribe button, which is just below here, as well as turn on the notification bell so that whenever I get to bring you a new episode, you can always be notified, and of course we get to move forward together. So what we'll be doing after the short break, we'll be looking into the specs, basically the engine specs. We'll be looking into the interior of this car, as well as some other features that you can get to always spot when you get to see this car. So right away, let's get into it. Welcome back. Something, guys, to realize with the Toyota Corolla, the 90 series, or basically, it goes by the name 90 series because it was produced during this period of 1990. Something that we'll be noticing about the Toyota Corolla, the 90 series, is that most of them they have they are sedan, meaning they have two extensions, that is the nut and the boot. Also, another thing is to realize that these cars till to date even the latest cars, they are still borrowing some features or concept from this car. We're talking about cars like the Toyota Corolla, the 100, the 110, as well as cars like the Toyota Corolla, the Premium, the Nyoka Nyoka. They're still borrowing some concept from these cars. So those are some of the features that we'll be looking into. And right away, guys, I want us to get to talk about the motor or the engine that gets to power this car, because you'll be realizing it's a very basic and a very simple car to understand. So let's just go ahead and get to look at the engine specs. Well, the Toyota Corolla, the 90 series, is usually powered by an engine which is popularly known as the 4A. And this engine, remember, if you have been following up my videos, we talked about the 7A engine, which gets to power the Toyota Corolla, the Premium. So with the 4A, it's just the predecessor of that one. So we have the 4A, we have the 5A, which you get to see in the Corolla, the 110, and we have the 7A for the Toyota Corolla, the Premium. So with the 4A, more of the concept that we'll be seeing in those other engines are the same that you get to see with the 4A. So also this Corona, the Toyota Corona, Corolla, the 110, the engine has inline four cylinders, meaning it has four piston. Also, another thing is to realize that this engine, most of them, they don't come, they are not turbocharged, meaning they are naturally aspirated. And if you have been following up my videos, I keep insisting the fact that for engines which are naturally aspirated, they tend to have a longer lifespan as compared to those ones which are turbocharged, and that's a concept which makes this car also to survive for a very long time. But remember, guys, as I said earlier, nowadays we'll be seeing more specs, more modifications on this car, because this engine, the 4A, also accommodates those kind of upgrades we are talking about, whereby you can get to add some turbo in this car. You can also get to add more cooling system. Remember, with turbocharging, you get to push the engine to the limits. So will be also factors like overheating might come in. So for that case, you'll be seeing this car has all that ability to accommodate all those accommodations. So for the 4A, most of the engines do are 1600 cc, that is the 1.6 liter in terms of capacity. So basically that's around 1600 cc. So that's the engine capacity, and this motor gets to give out around 110 to 115 horsepower, which is sufficient enough to push this car to its top speed, which is 180 kilometers per hour, and it gets to do that in just a few seconds. So also another thing to realize is that with this, most of these the 90 series, they came with a fueling system which was an electronic fuel injection, meaning most of the flow of fuel into the engine is controlled by the ECU. So that's also something which really assists when it comes to fuel consumption, because remember that's a very important factor when it comes to any car, and of course its acceptability into the market. Also, this engine comes with double overhead camshaft, which is important when it comes to the smooth running of the machine. So remember, I've explained about the double overhead camshaft, but real quick, the double overhead camshaft, basically one camshaft is used to push fresh air into the engine, while the other one is used to push exhaust gas out of the engine. So that's the advantage of having the double overhead camshaft. So these cars, as I said earlier, most of them they are sedan, meaning you'll be seeing those are the most of the cars that you see them out here. Also, to realize is that this engine comes in combination with the transmission system, either manual gear system or an automatic transmission system. We have for the manual ones, we had the 5-speed manual system. For the automatic, we have the 4-speed automatic system, which is also blended well with the motor, and that's one of the issues that you'll be realizing in this car. It doesn't have any problems with the engine as well as the transmission system. So guys, right now it will be all right to go ahead and we get to check out the interior of this car. Well, speaking of the interior, guys, remember these are cars which were started, their production was started way back in 1990. So you'll be seeing more of the luxury specs that you get to see with the latest trims of cars that we have currently. So looking at the dashboard, guys, you can see we have an analog speedometer dashboards. The dashboard, of course, you can see we have this one for fuel. We also have this other one for the speed limits, as well as this for the RPM in terms of revs, and we have for the temperature. So the dashboard is as simple as that, and that's what you'll be seeing in most of the Toyota Corolla 90 series. When it comes to things like the interior, the seats, of course, they are just basic. We're talking about seats which have the cloth upholstery. It's very rare to get to see any trim which gets to come with leather seats, unless it's an aftermarket upgrade. So that's something that you'll be realizing for sure with these 90 series. So we also, in terms of safety, of course, they had this car came with 2 airbags. We have one at the steering. Also, we have another one on the passenger side, which was very efficient when it comes, especially whenever somebody got involved in big accident. Those ones they were really lifesaver. So for the windows, of course, with this car we have power electric powered windows, meaning you can get to raise or lower the windows by just pressing some button. That was the same case when it comes to things like flipping the side mirrors, but that's not a standard feature that you'll be seeing in every Toyota Corolla 90 series. So at the center console, you can see we have more space over here, whereby we have space to put up your items over there. For the case of the infotainment system, it came with either an analog AM or FM radio system, and for the case also this car came with the manual climate control system, which you had to turn these knobs over here if you want to adjust the temperature in the car. So basically, this car is not as complicated as what we have right now into the market, but in terms of efficiency, this is one of the best cars that I can always recommend out there, and I guess that's the reason why you still get to see them till to date in our Kenyan roads. So in terms of things like the windows, you might see some of them they have this manual handle over here. For those ones which are not electric powered, you could just lower them by just lowering or rotating this knob over here. Also for the case of things like the leg room, this car is very spacious. Remember, it's a five-seater, and it comes with things like we have the seats. Of course, they're adjustable, meaning you can get to push them forward or backward depending with your preference. So that's for the case of the interior. Now let's just go ahead and get to look at the external specs. Well, looking at this car from the outside, you can see it's very unique. It has those big square like rear lights, which they have extended way back all the way to the boot. And of course, this part of the boot, or it's all attached, meaning once you get to open the boot, it also gets to split these lights. And that's one of the things that you'll be noticing with the 110. That's a very unique feature that you can always get to spot in most 110. Also, another thing, it came with this big box like headlights. More of the things, they are just square like in shape. So we have also the logo for Toyota. Remember, it's a Toyota Corolla 90 series. For the case of the signals, just came with basic things which are not exaggerated, but they got the job done amazingly. So for that case, you can see we have the signals here, as well as we also have this other one on the side edge of that car. So looking at the size of the wheel, most of these car came with the 15-inch wheel, which were appropriate, and of course give the car good ground clearance, especially when cruising in places which are a bit rough. And of course, without forgetting things like for the case of the braking system, this car came with a front disc braking system, as well as for the case of the rear wheels, they came with drums lining. So that's also something that we'll be realizing with most the 110, the 90 series. And of course, for the case of the 90 series, the side mirrors didn't come with blinkers, as you have seen in most of the latest trims that we have out here. So basically, this is just a basic car, and of course, it doesn't have those luxury feeling aspects or features, but the car is amazing in terms of fuel consumption, as well as reliability. So let me know if you have interacted with the Toyota 90 series in the comment section. Whether you own one, talk to me. I would really appreciate it. And of course, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, which is just below here, consider doing that. That's it for today. See you in the next one. Peace, guys.